Guys, now y'all come on here looking rough. It is what it is. Your girl know how to get it together. Anyway, let's talk about this Diddy documentary. Well, yeah, that 50 Cent did. Child, I don't even like purchasing subscriptions to anything. I said I was going to stop with the gossip, but child, I had to do a video on it, okay? First of all, I just heard about this today. Today, this morning. And today was my day off. So I'm scrolling on YouTube and I see something about a 50 documentary about Diddy, The Reckoning. And I'm like, hold up, what? What? Ain't nobody told me nothing. Child, I had to pay. I put in my debit card information so quick to find out what this was all about. 4 parts. I believe it was 4 or 5 parts to the documentary, The Reckoning, that 50 Cent did about P. Diddy. Y'all, if you have not seen it, please go watch it. Please go watch it. Because I swear I feel like this should have came out before the trial. That's what I feel like. That should have came out before the trial. And then thinking about the trial and how they missed so many areas. Like the ball was dropped so many times. Like they were dribbling the ball all over everywhere. Now, I don't know anything about ball like that, but I'm thinking all that dribbling is not good if you ain't making points or, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The ball was dropped. Tisa Tales was on there. I was like, okay, look at 50. She's a beautiful girl too, light skin. I come on here looking any kind of way. I guess I probably wouldn't be the type that someone will put on a documentary because I come in my all natural looking like I look sometimes. But anyway, child, let's get into it. I could not believe I can. It's 50 Cent. 50 went all in. He went all in on the information. Oh, thank you. Hi, thank you. Come in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I'm talking about the 50 Cent documentary that he did about P. Diddy. It's called The Reckoning. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, pay that fee to go see it. It's 4 parts to it. 50 did a good job. He did. It reminds me of, after watching it, I was thinking, did he make Power about Diddy? Because I could be reaching with that one. It was good, wasn't it? I was like, it was a well put together documentary. He did very good with it. You you gotta see it. You gotta see it. Okay? Now I'm gonna have to stop my my membership because I don't like paying for stuff like reoccurring things, especially when I don't watch Netflix like that. But that was worth it. $7.99 for that. That was worth it. That's what I paid for the membership just to watch that. Man, I went and got my card so quick and put my information in. Very good documentary. It was 4 parts to it. Tisa Tales was in it. Little Rod was in it. Kirk Burrows. Kirk Burrows, y'all, had so much to say, so many good points. It makes me wonder, like, why wouldn't the federal government get him? Because Kirk Burrows knew he started with Diddy in the beginning. He was like executive person or something for Bad Boy. Why wasn't he a part of the trial? Why wasn't KK? Why she didn't get any charges? Why she didn't have to get on the stand? It's just a lot of stuff just don't sit right. with me about that whole trial and knowing who Diddy is. And after seeing this documentary, seeing how many times he has gotten out of stuff somehow, some way, he has always continued to get out of trouble and let somebody else take the fall for something. It's crazy. Hi. Y'all, make sure you get that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate it. Y'all, The Reckoning. It answers so many questions. Okay, I'm telling y'all, you would think I know these people. Tupac, Biggie, Diddy, Cassie, Capricorn Clark, Kirk Burrows. First of all, I just heard about Kirk Burrows when all the Diddy trial stuff came about. I don't think I ever even heard that guy's name before. But I probably have, just didn't know who he was. The guy who's in jail now for the Tupac murking, they brought him in too. The guy who's in jail, that trial starts, I believe, in February of next year. I forgot. Y'all, it's like, what's that game? You ever played that game with the dots? You have like all the dots in lines, and then you have to make a box. Like each person get a turn, making a line, and then whoever makes a whole square gets the 4 lines. Then you write your name, your initial in that. I don't know if you ever played that game before. It put all the dots together. Like, it put all the pieces of the puzzle together for me. I already felt like P. Diddy was a monster. This just really put the icing on the cake. Okay, the icing, the cherry. What else? Some sprinkles, them little colorful sprinkles. Okay, dye-free sprinkles, the dye-free sprinkles. Y'all, if you haven't seen the documentary, go watch the documentary. You gotta watch the documentary. I was just so shocked. It's so many things I could say. What is the guy? Keffe D. Keffe D. Okay, I'm gonna start there. Because it was a lot of holes to me in that story with Keffe D. I was trying to figure out, like, why would he say this now? And why was he doing interviews now? But y'all, Keffe D told this information, everything that he said in all those interviews, and then he ended up getting charged with the actual murking. He said this to police, and he was free. Didn't get no charges brought against him. It just, stuff like that just makes me feel like this world is not real. Like, we live in this, y'all be careful. Because this cannot be real. This cannot be reality. For someone to be able to, one person to be able to play with so many people's lives and have so much control, it makes me, it was because of stuff like this that was happening to me in my personal life that made me go away from religion. Because I was like, I do good. And why bad stuff happen to me? How bad people just get away with stuff? It just makes you think about life. Because even with having so much money, why my voice was about to go out right after I said that. That's weird. But people with money, and money is not the issue, because you could do good things with money, right? It's the people. You know how they say it's a good versus evil type thing? I'm just thinking, like, I don't know about that good versus evil. I feel like it is what it is. Like, you could be who you want to be. Because where's the justice in taking the lives of Tupac and Biggie? Y'all, that hurt me back then when it happened. I still remember how I felt when they said that Tupac got shot in Vegas I'm sorry, Pow Pow in Vegas, and Biggie got Pow Pow in LA. That hurt like I knew them. I just knew the music and I kind of attached myself to the music, and it was like, what? Like, how? Like, and P. Diddy has grown bigger and bigger and bigger. But Keefe D told this information to the police. And P. Diddy has never been locked up for this. As far as we know, he has not even been interrogated about this situation, as far as we know. Do y'all know it's like he was filming up until he went to jail. He was filming, like making his own documentary or something. P. Diddy this is. And he had a camera crew, I guess, following him to show, how he's fighting for his life. It made me feel like R. Kelly fighting for his life. And it makes me wonder if he has something to do with that too. Like, it's mind-blowing. And I'm surprised that 50 Cent didn't put something in there about Kim Porter's passing, because that was very suspect. Very suspect. Anyone associated with Diddy is suspect to me. It makes me wonder. But Keefe D told the story that he said, allegedly, this is all alleged, okay? Keefe D told the Popo that P. Diddy put $1 million bounty on Tupac and Suge Knight. He told the whole story. They gave him like it's not immunity. I guess it is a type of temporary immunity so that he could tell the story. But then he didn't get locked up. And then P. Diddy didn't get interrogated or anything, or get drawn in for questioning. Not that I know of. I don't remember hearing anything about that if it did happen. I'm just saying, it just ain't right. It's not right. It's not right. It's a different type of war, or it's something going on out here in the world that it's not about, to me, it's not about good or bad. I don't know how to explain how I'm feeling right now. After hearing what I'm hearing, it's like if his children were to watch that documentary, it's no way they would want to still be around this guy. I mean, I guess they have to, because he's taking care of everyone, all his close family. And like it's like the women he messed with, he has control over them because he's paying for everything. So they depend on him. And nobody wants to work a 9 to 5. So they going to take that money and shut up and let him beat them up and do everything he do. And they just going to sit there and be quiet. It's crazy to me. But the way they put everything together in that documentary, 50 did his thing on that one. He did his big thing on that. Yeah, the whole Keefe D thing, I'm just thinking like, Gene Deal has been stressing this for so long, how he believed that P. Diddy allegedly had something to do with both. Biggie for sure. And it's just like, he should be locked up. There's no way in the world this guy should be free right now. And then 50 Cent did an interview I was watching before I even watched the documentary, the 4-part documentary. 50 Cent even said that he believes Jay and Bay is going to be next. And that'll be real interesting to me to find out what dirt they involved in, child. But why I saw a video before I watched the documentary, looked like it was P. Diddy and a whole bunch of people in white, and they were all in a circle, and it was like I guess a woman or something laying in the middle, and they were just walking around her in a circle and everything. And I was like, I thought that was a part of the documentary, but it wasn't. But that's some weird stuff. So it makes me feel like P. Diddy has to get his power from somewhere, because that's not just about money, that's about power too. He's gotten approval for someone, he's gotten a certain power for something or someone, like a certain type of entity or something. He does have that huge picture of someone, looks like a female, on his back, tattooed on his back. It's huge. It's like the whole length of his back. So his power makes me feel like he's getting some spiritual assistance. That's what I feel like. That's something spiritual. And if this is a spiritual game that we're all playing, then I mean, it's a good thing. It could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. Because if you tap into the certain energies, then you can, have certain types of power that you want. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Let's go back. That's going a little deep, and I could get deep. Okay. But back to the documentary though. It seemed like that's what it was hinting at. And I don't know, speaking of spiritual, to me, it's something about the DA. He had the Danity Kane, which is DA, for Danity. He had making the band, DA, and D is 5, A is 1. Together, that's 6. Danity King, the band, and Daddy's house. Because they were at Daddy's house when they were doing all the filming and stuff. That's DA2. That's 3 6s. Anyway, like I said, I could get deep, but that's not what I came on here for. I'm just coming on to talk about this documentary. Okay, Tisa Tales was on it. I was big ups to Tisa Tale. She said that it was people there like gathering up certain social media influencers to talk about, oh, baby, I wouldn't be your granny, baby. No, I wouldn't be your granny. But anyway, so she said it looked like it was people there that was from Diddy's camp that were trying to get certain influencers to tell a certain narrative or push a certain narrative. And she said every day they would go and meet, and then she'll see them come back out, and then they all have the same narrative that they're sharing on their platforms with everyone, right? Which, I mean, we know stuff like that happen. But, I mean, in the documentary, I don't know how 50 Cent got access to that type of footage there. Because I never heard about that before. I didn't know that Diddy was actually filming, like he was doing his own documentary right before he went to jail. Because it was like 6 days before he went to jail or something. That's the documentary that Diddy was doing for himself. So he had people following him, and just watching video, recording him just in the hotel, not really doing much, but talking to his lawyers and telling his lawyers that they need to come up with something better. They need to put a new narrative out there. At the same time, I don't blame him because he's fighting for his life, right? But this guy's a monster, y'all. This is unreal to me. Like that documentary. Okay, so let me tell you about Little Rod. So Little Rod was saying that he was there for, he didn't say 2 years, but he said 2 Christmases, and he said 2 of his kids' birthday parties. He missed that. So I guess that's about 2 years. Probably was a little longer than that, whatever. Less than 3 years, right? Allegedly. This is all alleged. He said that he was working on that love project with Diddy. Has anybody ever listened to that mess? Any song that was on that album? I don't know, not one song that was on that album. I do remember a video that he did for one of the songs, and it was like a lot of LGBT stuff going on. I do remember that, and I was thinking, oh, Diddy about to come out, but he never really came out, so I was like, okay, but went away. So it would have been interesting if he would have just came out. He probably would have made more sales. But so Little Rod was helping him with that project. He said that Diddy was having the hardest time trying to come up with like a bar, to record a song. And he said that it took him like 6 to 7 months or something, allegedly, to even come up with like a bar or a verse or something. But in the video, I guess the footage was from Little Rod's footage, his personal footage. But you could tell Diddy was like out of it. Like super up to the sky, like that. Okay. But he said that he was there with him. He said they worked day and night. They was always working. He spent Christmas with him. He missed his kids' birthdays. He missed holidays. He missed time with his family. And it seemed like he was trying to say he never got paid. Because he was saying that he was told he was going to get one amount. And then he was assured that he was going to get $28,000, I believe. And then he never even got that. So I'm thinking, so this man stayed with this guy for 2 years and didn't get a dime? I'm going to tell you what he said he did get. Allegedly, he said after the album was finished, then all of a sudden, they start partying real hard. And he said sometimes he would wake up and it would be women, a whole bunch of women around him. And sometimes he would wake up and Diddy would be lying next to him. And he would wake up and he would be real sore. But he didn't go into details and tell where he was sore at or sore from what or anything. He didn't go into details. He said that he felt like he was rugged with the D and he doesn't remember. And he said that he was told to wear a certain hat to a club in Miami. And when he went to this club with that hat on, the females, I guess like ex-workers, would know what time it is. He could pay them and bring them back to the house so they could all party. And isn't that what... Is that pro-institution? Is that what that is? I think that's what that would be. So I'm trying to figure out if he actually went there and did that, why wasn't he on trial? Why the government didn't get him and put him on trial? It seemed like some protection was going on. It made me even wonder, why would they even put Diddy through all that or put the people through all that? Like, is this a show? Was this just to get a little bit of time? Get him? I don't know. It just don't make sense to me. It seemed like Diddy should have got way more time than he did. It seemed like a lot of stuff was not brought up that could have been brought up, especially charges. But that would have been one of the main charges. So why they didn't put him on trial? Because he said he was paid to do that, to go to the club, get these girls, bring them back. Just makes you wonder. Then Aubrey O'Day, the girl from Danity Kane, she said that someone sent her a message and told her that she walked in on her being assaulted. I don't know what I can and cannot say on here. And she says she doesn't even remember it. She says that she don't even want to remember it. So I could understand why she didn't get on trial, why the government didn't call her. But it's strange because she did talk about it on the documentary. So girl, what, huh? But yeah, she said someone messaged her, sent her a long message and told her that they walked in on her being like passed out on a couch and Diddy having X with her, and then another guy, like his security guard, a big light skinned guy, had his private in her mouth while she was passed out on the couch. And she said, and the person told Aubrey that this is not for children. I made this live. I made sure I put that on my live here that this is not for children. But Aubrey said that someone told her that this happened. And she said she doesn't even remember it happening. So y'all watch where y'all getting y'all drinks from and all. Like, this world is, it's some demons out here for real. For real, for real. Okay? In the physical form. Why the documentary started with, I think that was Kirk Burrows, and I'm not sure, I could be wrong, saying that when the whole school thing happened, when Diddy his first big party he had at that school, I believe it was Howard, but I'm not sure what college it was. And then all those children, like, or all those people got stumbled, I can't even talk, got trampled on. And I think like 9 people were murked, 9, 6, same number. He said that Diddy's mom asked him, so what are you going to do? And he said that Diddy called his mom the B word and slapped her. I said, ain't no way I believe that. That's hard to believe right there. But I do know that the childhood friend, the guy who was in one of the other documentaries. I'm not sure if it was the TMZ documentary, but he was in the woods. He said he left the whole game because I guess whatever scared him made him go out to the woods, child, and get his life. But that guy was on there. I forgot what his name was. Tim, I believe. I think it was Tim. His name is Tim, I believe. But he said that that Diddy used to get his butt beat real bad by his mom. Like, she used to beat the mess out of him. And then Diddy started fighting back. And it would get real ugly. I don't know if he said real ugly, but he said it that Diddy would fight back. So, and I have a son. So I understand that right there. Because at one point I remember being able to discipline my son. And then I remember not being able to physically discipline my son. So I can understand that too. And that would make sense if he slapped the mom. But I do remember Gene Deal had said that P. Diddy had, he would be disrespectful to his mom. And he had to like jack him up about it or talk to him about, being real disrespectful to his mom too. So, but she started it all because that guy, Tim, he said that they would watch, and they were little kids. He said that they would watch all those exploitation movies, like the pimp movies and stuff, all that mess. I can't stand that stuff. But I can understand how a guy would like it. Pimps and hoes type stuff. Those old movies look like they from the 50s or 60s or something. All the black guys just being very disrespectful to women. Use them, abuse them, call them names, have them working for them, like, setting people up, stuff like that. So it just reminds me, it just made me feel like, he grew up with that mindset of wanting to be that type of pimp. Because allegedly his dad was supposed to be a big known drug dealer, before he passed away. And I believe that's how he ended up passing away. But I'm not sure there. But it's just get deep. But it filled in a lot of blanks for me, especially about Suge Knight. So this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna end this. But I didn't see too many commentators or influencers talking about this documentary, probably because I believe it just came out yesterday. Mind you, I just found out about it today. Like I said, and I had to get my Netflix account so I could watch it. But who was I talking about? Dog, who was I talking about? Who was I going to talk about? Suge Knight. So for some reason, I always felt like Suge Knight had something to do with the passing of Tupac. Like, to me, he didn't really get hurt. I think I heard that he had got pow pow or to the head, but it didn't penetrate or something. It was minor or something, you know. And I always felt like, well, dang, how Tupac was so bad, but he wasn't. And then Keefe D said that the bounty was for both of them, not just one of them. So, but Tupac got the worst end of it. But anyway, I don't know. So I always felt like maybe Suge Knight. Now I don't. I'm going to tell you why. So the documentary made it seem like Death Row was first. And I don't even remember Death Row being first, but I guess it was. Because I remember like Snoop Dogg. I remember his record and stuff. And then later on, I remember hearing about Diddy with like Faith Evans. And that's a whole nother story right there. Because I never trusted that situation. But anyway, so I always felt like Suge Knight had something to do with Tupac, but now I don't. Because it seemed like Suge Knight wanted to help, in my opinion, based on the documentary. Like Suge Knight wanted to help Tupac just be whoever he needed to be. Now, I don't know, what was going on at the end, towards the end of Tupac life, if he was trying to get out of Death Row and he couldn't or whatever, because I believe the movie was saying something about he was going to go his own ways, separate from Death Row and start his own label or something. So I don't know too much about that. But as far as the murking of Tupac, I don't believe Suge Knight had something to do with it. He could, I don't know. But I feel different about it because it seemed like, from the way the documentary was made, that Diddy was maybe jealous of Suge Knight and was trying to like feed off him like a virus. A virus has to have certain things in order to survive. Like, you could get rid of a virus. That's why a virus usually don't last that long. If you're doing the right things, you can get rid of it. But it's almost like a parasite. Like, if you're feeding it, then it's going to eat. But you got to not feed it, right? But with Diddy, based on the documentary, it's like he watches everything. And you don't know he's watching, but he's watching. And he's such a mastermind that instead of just looking, he's going to actually put together a plan. Like, he's going to execute, right? That's what a lot of people don't do. They don't execute. But so he mimics. He mimics a lot of stuff. He sees stuff and he turn it around and make it his, because in the documentary they were showing how Tupac did his video, I Get Around, and then Diddy made Biggie video where he was outside the house. I'm not sure if that was I forgot the name of that song Biggie did, when they was outside the house and they were around the pool and all those people were around and everything. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Maybe it was that one. Maybe it was that video. I can't remember the song exactly, but yeah. So I see how he mimics stuff. And then they kept comparing how he would like take certain things and make it his own and then blow up with it because he just worked so hard at making sure that it gets the attention that it needs, right? And that's what you have to do with anything, right? You got to put that work in. And he definitely put that work in. Like he one of them type of people, it don't matter what he got to do. Okay? He going to do it. Those type of people are dangerous. They are very dangerous. You got to be careful with people like that. See, I don't really care for people like that to be in my circle. People who just don't care, people who you know will step on your head to lift themselves up, they'll knock you down, step on your back, your head, just to hold so they can hold their head up high. Like those people are all around us all the time. And a lot of times, if you just let them talk, they'll show themselves. But he definitely mimic a lot of stuff, and looking at it now I'm like yeah, and then he execute, and then no matter what, that's what it's gonna be. That's what he gonna do. He gonna do whatever it takes to get there. So yeah, that's Diddy right there. If narcissist had a picture of a person in the dictionary, it would be him. Yeah, it would definitely be him. But with Suge Knight, I'm thinking he didn't have, I don't think he had anything to do with it now. I was thinking that before, now I don't. Especially when he said if he knew who the murker was, would he tell? He said that in the interview and he said no. I thought that was crazy. Thought that was real crazy. So but yeah, so I don't believe it now because it seemed like the way the documentary was made, it seemed like Suge Knight was just backing Tupac so that he could come out and do what he needed to do. Like almost like not his protection, obviously, but almost like a handler in a way. Right? That's a handler. And I don't know. They didn't talk about how Tupac ended up getting out because I do remember word was that during that time, because I remember all this still, but word was Tupac needed $1 million to get out. And I was thinking nobody could give him $1 million to get out. These dudes got to be making money, but I guess they probably wasn't making money like that. It's all show. Like the Making a Band members, okay? Who was that told how they didn't get no money? Oh, Babs, some girl, Bad Babs or something. I don't know. I don't even remember her. I don't think I was watching Making a Band when she was on the show. I watched the very first one, but then I couldn't even get into that because to me, in my opinion, it seemed like all the guys was a little, and it wasn't no need for me to watch it. I felt like that wasn't my type of vibe, right? So I ain't even watch Making a Band like that. I really couldn't get into it. but um but yeah, she was saying how they had this big old stack from here to here of papers they had to sign within 24 hours, and she had her lawyer to look at it, and her lawyer told her this is all about getting fame, no fortune. Like you ain't getting no money. But a couple guys from the band or Making the Band have did interviews saying that they didn't make any money. They barely made money. They made little to no money. But yeah, the documentary was good. I'm trying to think. I didn't write any of this down. Of course, I'm so unorganized. This is all off the top of my head. I'm just talking about it. What else can I think about? Those key points right there was very interesting. I was just wondering because Kalima from Dirty Money, was in the documentary, but Dawn wasn't. And so I'm thinking, I wonder if she had to, if she couldn't, or if she just didn't want to be in the documentary because, she testified in the trial. So why not get in the documentary? I don't know. That's weird to me. But Kalima was in it. And she was the one who did the public interview. Well, she did the interview like right before the trial. And she was saying how she never saw anything. Diddy never did anything to her. And she said that same thing. She said she was going through a custody battle or something, or she was trying to work on getting her children, winning her children back or something. And she was in a tough place at the time. But I don't remember her saying she actually got payment from Diddy. I ain't hear her say that part, but that could be incriminating. But she said she loved Diddy. She really loved him. And I was like, girl, he didn't even pay you. He left you struggling just like he left everyone struggling. He stepped on y'all back and on y'all head to lift himself up and his family. And I'm just thinking about the children, right? Because they ain't got no real skills. But I didn't know that. I just found out that, what's the child? Justin. Justin was in Ghost, in the TV show Power. He was in the Power TV show a couple of times, like two or three times. I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that was him. I think in the club scene when Tariq was selling from out the club. Anyway, so it's like 50 hired Diddy's son, who I don't believe that's his son, but I think that's Wolf's son. But I don't know these people. This is all alleged. I don't know these people. But I thought that was very interesting. So he's done some acting. And then I know the one Christian who looks just like Diddy. To me, him and the sisters, them Diddy only two real churn. Because ain't no way. They got his whole face. And the mother churn don't. That's weird. That's real weird to me. But anyway. But Justin, I know he's doing the music thing because he just came out with a song just recently about Kim. I'm like, dude, give it a break, okay? You still just, that's all you got. Because I think that's like his second or third song he did about his mom. I don't mean no harm or nothing, but it's like, dude, you ain't got no personality. You can't do nothing else. You're going to keep making songs about your mother and about the love you have for your mother, and you think we're supposed to just support you with just doing that? Like, you got to get out here and do some more work. You got something else going on that you could talk about in these songs. That might sound real hurtful, okay, because it's his mother, and you need to be telling us the truth about what happened, because I know he had to either hear something. He know who his daddy is. Them children know who their daddy is. Them baby mamas, they know who this man is. So what if he lose all his money? If Diddy lose all his money, will they then come out and do a book and tell us what's going on like Misa? I can't believe Misa ain't telling us what's going on when everybody done talked about how allegedly they saw Diddy stomp her down to the ground and beat her up under a car. And I didn't even know she was messing with Eric Sermon, or she was friends with him. I didn't even know that part. Eric Sermon was in the documentary as well. That was pretty cool to see him. A hip hop legend. Um, yeah, the documentary was good. It was real good, and I just feel like y'all should watch it. Leave me a comment. Let's talk about it in the comment section, because I'm just waiting. I'm looking. I'm strolling on YouTube. Look for some commentary for to talk about it. Let's talk about it. I don't hear nobody talking about it yet, but word ain't got around yet, probably. Because like I said, I just found out about this morning. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I had to say about it. About the documentary. Watch, soon as I get off the live, I'm gonna be like, oh, I meant to say this. Oh, I meant to say that. Oh, so Lil Rod said that, was it Lil Rod? I believe, no, it wasn't Lil Rod. It was the guy. So the guy who was one of the paid dancers, or the guy, one of the guys who was going in about Cassie being, having more involvement than they claim she did. He was real aggressive with in his interviews, talking about Cassie should have they should have held her responsible more for her part in the whole freak off situations, right? The real ugly guy. I don't mean no harm. I'm sorry. He probably won't even see this video. And I know I'm looking real ugly right now, but I can look real cute, okay? Don't get it twisted. But anyway, I don't know his name. Because matter of fact, he just rubbed me the wrong way when he was doing interviews. I didn't like how he was talking about this girl, this little girl. And I'm saying little, not in age-wise, but in her frame, little girl, as if she could stand up to Diddy and won't get knocked down. But he was doing interviews talking about how she had more involvement. It was, she had some fault into it and stuff. And I'm thinking that was mostly Diddy. To me, that was probably 95% Diddy and 5% her. Cassie, that is. But anyway, so that real ugly guy who was one of the, I think he said he was messing with them, escort. We call him an escort. I think he said he was messing with them for like 3 years or something. But he said that he didn't start messing with the Ruggs until like year 2 or 3. And then he said that they were putting Ruggs in the baby oil. He said that in the documentary. Now, I watched the full, I watched every day of the trial. Didn't miss a beat. Okay? And I was working at the same time. Working on getting all the footage and content from the trial, from Diddy's trial. And I know they asked Cassie. They asked her one time and one time only. And I felt like something was wrong with that part, because they didn't go in on it. They just asked her and that was it. Nobody brought it back up. They asked Cassie, was any Ruggs put in the baby oil? And she said no. And the escort said that it was in the documentary, y'all. I guess you have to be the judge of that. But Little Rod also said that he felt like, he said he didn't know, but he said that there was some time frames that just he don't even remember. He said they would party and he would wake up and don't remember nothing. Not a glimpse of what happened the night before. And he said that he realized that he was being rugged. So maybe Cassie was so messed up that she forgot that key bit of information. Nah. But that just makes me wonder, because everybody kept saying that the baby oil was spiked, right? And I was thinking, makes sense. If he was on as many rugs as they say he was on, makes sense. Why wouldn't he? You know, them people be doing that, not chocolate, but you know what I mean, the nickname for chocolate, right? Off people bodies. So why not put it in the baby oil, and then you already getting that type of up to the sky, huh? Right? So why would she lie about that? Or why would he lie? Why would the escort lie? Who lying? It makes me feel like Cassie was lying. And I felt like she was lying about that during the trial when they asked her. But why? She had immunity. So why wouldn't you tell that part? Why would you give us a little bit but don't go all in? Something's not right there. You playing both sides. Why would you hold back with that information? And then DV wasn't a charge, so it didn't even make sense why they brought her up there. It seemed like Cassie hurt the case anyway. And then it was two jurors that was on the jury, that were jurors during the trial. They got interviewed in a documentary, and I liked how 50 Cent didn't just play one side to it. He put the jurors in there, and they told how, they didn't believe Capricorn Clark. And they felt like Cassie and Diddy was just like a love-hate relationship, like two lovers who love each other, and they were going back and forth. The one guy, he said that the Indian old guy, I was like, who picked him to be a juror? This man is old, and he's Indian. Red dot Indian, not Lulu, not, okay? And then the woman who was the juror, she seemed like she was too happy to give an interview, for the documentary. I ain't like that. It made me feel like thirsty. Like it was giving thirsty, in my opinion. But yeah, I didn't trust that when Cassie said that. But the jurors were saying how they didn't believe Capricorn Clark because she was so emotional. And Capricorn Clark was saying, well, while she was up there on trial, she said it was hard for her to look in Diddy's direction. And if she would get a glimpse of him, like, it would just make her feel so emotional. So she cried a whole lot. And some people are just really emotional. I've been called real emotional, you know. So I can understand that. But I'm not like that. I'm not like going to be crying in public unless something bad happened, But other than that, I'm not crying. I'm crying in the car or when I get home. I'm that type of person, right? But I can't imagine telling all these stories knowing who this powerful God that's over here. How you gonna keep a straight face and don't cry? But the two jurors said that they didn't believe her story because she was crying so much, because she was so emotional, and it happened 20 years ago. And I'm thinking, these people ain't never had no drama, no pain. Because when you go through a hurtful situation, something that traumatized you, you could cry 20, 30, 40 years later thinking about it. I don't know. Seem like, I know I watched a YouTube video about this one guy. His name was Kurt Cobain or something like that. I can't remember, but allegedly he said that he went to a party that Suge Knight had threw for the jurors for a Snoop Dogg case. And the jurors were there partying and taking picture, and they had like a karaoke thing. All this is alleged. And he said the jurors were up there doing karaoke singing Snoop Dogg songs. And it made me think, okay, that's how y'all do it? Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. It's a lot of corruption going on here. Nothing's fair. I don't think fair is even a thing. I don't even think it is a thing. But what can you do, right? I just hope that, you know, I hate that Tupac mom is gone and Biggie mom just passed away when last year, recently. I feel like somebody probably had something to do with her not being here, so she can't see the downfall of him and turn on him. But, and then, you know, Jonathan, what's his name? Jonathan, it's a guy named Jonathan something. He was the publicist for Drake and for Jay-Z for a long time, but he's doing a lot of interviews and stuff. He's a white guy, big guy, long hair, blonde hair. Jonathan Hay. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of interviews lately. And he said that he had to work on the Biggie project with Diddy. And he said Diddy ejaculated in a piece of clothing of Diddy's and wiped himself and kept it moving or something. And I was thinking, this dude is dirty, because I remember seeing videos of him like celebrating Biggie. I don't know if it was the born day or the death day, but someone in the documentary said that Diddy would celebrate Biggie's death date, the day he passed away. Now, I've lost three people very close to me, and I don't celebrate the day they passed away, because to me, that's a hurtful day. I've tried to erase that day from my memory, but their birthday, I do celebrate. You know, nothing big, just something small, just I acknowledge it, right? But the day they passed, I'm not celebrating that, because to me, that don't make sense. I'm not going to celebrate that day. Matter of fact, if I even remember that it's that day, it's probably going to make me really emotional and mess up my whole day. So Diddy, somebody allegedly said in the documentary, I can't remember who, that Diddy would celebrate Biggie's passing away day every year. Speaks volumes. Speaks volumes, in my opinion. Speaks volumes. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Sound like it's raining outside. It's been raining a lot lately. Yep. I'm gonna find me something else to watch. See if I can find some more influencers talking about this documentary. I hope you guys liked the video. I might do a part 2 once I get my thoughts together. But I had watched it. That probably was like an hour or 2 ago. And then I had to get me something to eat and all, and rest from watching all 4 of the parts back to back to back to back. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Don't share it because I look rough. But tell people about it so they can come watch. I don't know. I really don't care though. Do what y'all do, but just be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. The rain is coming down. Yeah, be careful. Be careful. That's it. That's all I could say. Yeah, it might be a part 2. I don't know. I don't know. Might be a part 2. But all right, you guys. Peace. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Okay? I said I wasn't going to be doing any more celebrity gossip, child, but Y'all know this right here be just between Diddy, and Jay-Z, Jay and Bay. Them three right there is hard. It's hard not to talk about them. It's really hard. They make it so hard. But anyway, you guys, that's all I have for you. For real, for real. Dang, it's been an hour. It don't even seem like it's been that long. But yeah, have a wonderful evening. And like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? Yeah, get them numbers up. Get them thumbs up. All right? Peace.